We see this, water main breaks.
You never expect disaster when you turn on the news. But sometimes, reality doesn't wait for a commercial break. 1 second, it's routine coverage. Next, chaos fills the screen. Cameras capture shock, fear, and heartbreak before anyone can look away. These unforgettable live moments prove that even the most polished productions can unravel in seconds. Twin Tower collapse. ABC reporter N.J. Burkett was covering the chaos near the Twin Towers on 11th of September 2001 when everything changed. As the towers burned, he stood just blocks away, describing the scene live. Suddenly, the South Tower began to collapse. Burkett shouted, "Better get out of the way!" as a massive cloud of dust and debris rushed toward him. He and his crew ran for their lives, but managed to stay safe. Moments later, still shaken and covered in dust, Burkett continued reporting the tragedy that no one could have imagined, capturing history in real time. Firefighting plane crash. In 2023, Greece faced one of its biggest wildfires in years. To fight the flames, firefighting planes were sent out to drop water over the burning areas. During a live TV broadcast, viewers watched one of those planes rush toward the fire, flying low to release its load. But moments after dropping the water, the aircraft vanished into a canyon. And then, a fireball appeared. The horrifying scene left viewers in shock as the broadcast captured the moment the brave crew's mission ended in tragedy. Reporter dodges lightning. During a live report on a powerful monsoon storm in Phoenix, Fox 10 reporter Matt Rodewald had a moment that could have gone horribly wrong. As he described the storm's intensity, a massive bolt of lightning struck the ground just a few feet away from him, close enough to feel the shock in the air. The flash was blinding, the sound deafening, yet Matt barely flinched. He simply kept talking, as if nothing had happened. Viewers were stunned by his calm, calling it both fearless and foolish. The viral clip left everyone wondering how he managed to stay so composed when danger literally struck right beside him. SpaceX rocket landing gone wrong. In January 2016, the world was watching as SpaceX attempted a historic first, landing its Falcon 9 rocket on a barge at sea. The touchdown looked perfect at first, and cheers erupted in the control room. Then, in an instant, the rocket tilted and exploded in flames. Elon Musk later explained that one of the landing legs failed to lock, likely due to ice buildup from heavy fog. Despite the fiery crash, the attempt marked a turning point. Just a few months later, SpaceX finally stuck the landing. Reporter gets hit by car. Imagine going on live TV to talk about icy road conditions, only to become part of the story yourself. That's exactly what happened to reporter Tori Yorgi. Just seconds into her live broadcast, a car slammed into her, knocking her down on camera. Viewers froze as she calmly said, "I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay, Tim." Instead of panicking, she stood back up and continued reporting. Later, Tori admitted she was sore, but thankful to be safe. The viral clip showed her incredible composure and professionalism in a moment that could have ended very differently. Live robbery attempt. Imagine going on live TV to talk about crime, only to become the victim of one. That's exactly what happened in Rio de Janeiro. A woman was being interviewed about rising thefts when a man suddenly tried to snatch her necklace right in front of the camera. The whole thing was caught on video as she quickly stepped back, avoiding the grab. The reporter even ran after the thief, but he managed to get away. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Helicopter collision. In July 2007, two Phoenix news stations, KTVK and KPHO, were covering a police chase from their helicopters. Viewers were watching live as the chase unfolded when something went terribly wrong. A reporter suddenly shouted, the screen went static, and a loud screech filled the broadcast. Back in the studio, the anchor looked stunned, saying, "We don't know what just happened." Moments later, it was revealed that the two helicopters had collided mid-air, killing all 4 people aboard. Since then, Phoenix stations have shared one helicopter to make sure such a tragedy never happens again. Shark attack. Australian surfing legend Mick Fanning was preparing for the final round of the World Surfing League's J-Bay Open in South Africa when the ocean itself struck back. Without warning, a massive shark surfaced beside him, knocking him off his board. Viewers watched live as Fanning fought back, punching the shark to escape. The shocking moment was broadcast around the world, and the event was immediately postponed. Luckily, Mick wasn't hurt, but the incident reminded everyone just how dangerous South Africa's shark-filled waters can be. Cardi B fights. The love and hip-hop. New York reunion gave fans one of reality TV's wildest moments. Tension between Cardi B and Asia Davies had been building all season, and producers tried to keep the peace by seating them far apart, but it didn't work. The two clashed over an old fight, and things got heated fast. Cardi demanded, "What was the reason?" before losing her temper and throwing her shoe across the stage. Chaos broke out as security rushed in to hold her back. That fiery moment showed the world Cardi's raw, fearless energy and helped cement her as a force to watch. Crossbow shot gone wrong. What was meant to be an exciting, high-stakes stunt on America's Got Talent almost ended in tragedy. Ryan Stock, a performer famous for swallowing swords, stood still with a target in his mouth while his fiancée, Amber, aimed a flaming arrow from a crossbow. The crowd held its breath, but the arrow missed and hit Ryan straight in the throat. Everyone froze as EMTs rushed in. Luckily, he survived with no serious injuries. Later, Ryan tweeted about the serious mishap, saying he was just grateful and lucky to walk away unharmed. Woman attacks priest. It started as a peaceful mass, but quickly turned into chaos. Father Marcelo Rossi, one of Brazil's most popular priests, was speaking to a crowd of nearly 50,000 at a youth event when a woman suddenly ran on stage and shoved him hard. The microphone even caught the sound of his fall as shocked onlookers froze. The woman, strangely smiling, was quickly taken away by security. Thankfully, Father Rossi wasn't seriously hurt and, showing incredible calm, returned soon after to finish the service as the crowd cheered in relief. Bear attack. Circus bears might look cute on stage, but behind the tricks, they're still wild animals. During a live Polish TV show, an animal trainer brought a bear to entertain viewers, but things went terribly wrong. When a woman sat too close, the bear suddenly turned and attacked, startling everyone on set. As rescuers rushed in, the bear lunged again, causing total chaos. Thankfully, both victims escaped, with only minor injuries, but the terrifying moment proved one thing. No matter how well trained, a wild bear can never be fully trusted under bright studio lights. Live TV ambush. It was a shocking moment caught live on On Patrol Live. Deputies in Knox County, Tennessee, were responding to reports of gunfire when Deputy Dalton Swanger went into the woods to investigate. With his weapon drawn, he called out, "Show me your hands!" But before he could react, he was ambushed and struck in the head with what looked like a brick or rock. Fellow officers rushed in, dragging him to safety. Bleeding and dazed, Swanger managed to stand with help. The suspect was later arrested and charged with attempted murder. Robert Downey leaves interview. In 2015, Robert Downey Jr. sat down for a Channel 4 news interview in London to promote Avengers: Age of Ultron. But things quickly took a strange turn. The interviewer, Krishnan Guru Murthy, started asking personal questions about Downey's past, his struggles with addiction, drinking, and his relationship with his father. Downey looked uncomfortable and tried to stay polite, but finally cut him off, saying, "I don't want to do that. Thank you." Then he stood up and walked out. The awkward moment went viral, showing just how fast a simple movie interview can fall apart when it crosses the line. Wrestling stunt gone wrong. Back in 1985, Hulk Hogan and Mr. T appeared on Richard Belzer's talk show to promote the very first WrestleMania. Things seemed fun until Belzer jokingly asked Hogan to show a wrestling move. Hogan agreed and put him in a headlock, but it went too far. Within seconds, Belzer went limp and collapsed on live TV. The audience gasped, thinking it was part of the act, but it wasn't. Belzer regained consciousness soon after, but needed stitches. Mr. T quickly told viewers it was an accident, but the shocking moment became one of wrestling's most unforgettable live TV mishaps. Wrong axe throw. During a live Fox News segment, Pete Hegseth decided to show off his axe-throwing skills, and it went terribly wrong. He aimed for the target, but the axe flew off course and struck Jeff Prosperi, a drummer from the U.S. Army's West Point Band, who happened to be performing nearby. The scene turned from a cheerful broadcast into a moment of chaos. Thankfully, Jeff escaped with only minor cuts, and even laughed it off later. Pete apologized immediately, calling it a complete accident. But the viral clip became a reminder that live TV and sharp objects don't mix well. Magic gone wrong. When magicians go live on TV, it's usually for fun and amazement. But this time, it turned painful. In 2016, Polish host Marzyna Rogalska joined a magician on a morning show for a nail-in-a-bag trick. The idea was simple. Slam your hand on the bag without hitting the hidden nail. The magician went first. No problem. But when Rogalska tried, things went terribly wrong. She slammed her hand onto the nail and screamed in pain. Luckily, her injuries were minor, but the shocking moment quickly went viral and is still remembered today. Robbed at gunpoint. In Ecuador, sports journalist Diego Ordinola was reporting live when things took a terrifying turn. A man with a gun suddenly appeared on camera, pointing it straight at the crew and demanding their cash. The journalist and cameraman froze as the robber waved his weapon and grabbed what he could before running off. The whole thing was caught on video, and it quickly went viral online. It was supposed to be a normal broadcast, but instead, it became a chilling reminder of how real life can interrupt live TV. Lion chaos on live TV. You expect to see lions in the wild, not on a talk show set, but one Mexican program learned that lesson the hard way. In 2007, a seemingly calm lion cub was brought to the Consejo de Mujer show. Everything looked harmless until, without warning, the cub lunged at a baby sitting beside its mother. Chaos broke out as trainers rushed in to pull the animal away. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt, but the shocking footage quickly spread online, proving that even the smallest lions still carry wild instincts. Motorway twins. In May 2008, drivers on Britain's M6 motorway saw two women acting strangely on the roadside. They were Swedish twins, Ursula and Sabina Eriksson. A BBC film crew happened to be there and caught what happened next. As police tried to help, both sisters suddenly ran into traffic, causing chaos and injuries. But the story didn't end there. A few days later, Sabina, staying with a kind man named Hollinshead, turned violent. She stabbed him 4 times before fleeing. He managed to say, "She stabbed me," before dying. Sabina was later caught and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Madonna terribly falls. At the 2015 Brit Awards, Madonna had one of the most unforgettable stage mishaps ever. During her performance, she wore a long cape that was supposed to be pulled off dramatically to reveal her outfit underneath. But the cape was tied too tightly, and when her dancers tugged it, Madonna was yanked backward and tumbled down the stairs. The crowd gasped, unsure if it was part of the act. But Madonna quickly got back up, kept singing, and finished her performance like a pro. Later, she laughed it off, saying it definitely wasn't planned, just a wardrobe malfunction gone wrong. Thai model possessed. In 2016, Thai model Tia Chafupang shocked viewers when she went on live TV claiming she was possessed by Pop, a spirit said to crave blood and human flesh. At first, she seemed calm, but as the exorcist spoke to the spirit, her voice changed and she began screaming uncontrollably. The whole studio froze. Was it real possession or just a staged act? Many viewers thought it was fake, but others couldn't shake the eerie feeling that they had just witnessed something truly supernatural happen live on air. Tased on live TV. It was a terrifying scene caught on live TV in Atlanta. 2 college students, Messiah Young and Tanaya Pilgrim, were driving home when police suddenly surrounded their car during protests. Officers smashed their windows, tased them, and violently pulled them out of the vehicle. Both students were left bruised and injured, saying they feared for their lives. The shocking footage sparked outrage across the country. Afterward, the 6 Atlanta police officers were charged with using excessive force. Spooky surprise. In August 2021, viewers of ABC News Australia got a major shock when a live news segment suddenly cut to a creepy clip. On screen were 3 hooded figures in a dark red room chanting, "Hail Satan! Hail Satan!" The eerie scene quickly went viral, with people wondering if it was some kind of secret message. Later, the anchor explained it was just a technical glitch that accidentally played footage from a past story about Satanism in schools. Still, the unexpected broadcast left viewers spooked and confused by the bizarre on-air moment. Safety test. A live safety test in Israel went horribly wrong. The demo was supposed to prove that a new knife-proof vest really worked. To show its strength, a reporter volunteered to wear it while someone stabbed the vest several times on camera. But things didn't go as planned. The knife slipped through and cut his back. The shocked crowd froze as he was rushed to the hospital for a few stitches. Later, the company admitted the knife had struck an area of the vest that didn't have protective material, raising big questions about its actual safety. Helicopter collision on live TV. During a live broadcast in Brazil, reporters from 2 rival TV stations clashed on camera. Grace Abidu from Record TV was suddenly pushed by another reporter while both tried to get camera space. The shocking moment aired live, leaving viewers stunned. Later, The reporter who pushed her went back on air to publicly apologize, admitting his behavior was inexcusable. Grace filed a police report, and the clip quickly went viral, sparking debates about respect and professionalism in live journalism. Arrested on air. It was 29th May, 2020 in Minneapolis, and CNN correspondent Omar Jimenez was covering the George Floyd protests live on TV. What started as a calm report suddenly turned into chaos when police officers surrounded him and his crew. Despite clearly showing their press IDs and explaining they were with CNN, they were handcuffed and taken away, right in front of the cameras. Viewers were stunned as the broadcast cut to silence. The team was later released after Governor Tim Walz called the arrest unacceptable. Bullfighting disaster. Bullfighting has always been dangerous, but no one expected to witness tragedy live on TV. In Spain, matador Victor Barrio faced his bull in the ring, just as he had many times before. But this time, the bull's horn struck deep into his chest during the fight in the eastern town of Teruel. The shocking moment was broadcast live, leaving viewers in disbelief. Despite efforts to save him, Barrio didn't survive. It was the first time in over 30 years that a professional matador had died in the ring, a heartbreaking reminder of the deadly risk behind the tradition. Shot on Live TV. Reporting from protests is always dangerous, but this time, the reporter became part of the chaos. In Los Angeles, 9 News Australia's Lauren Tomasi was covering growing unrest after President Trump called in the National Guard. The streets were packed, fires burning, freeways blocked, even driverless cars set ablaze. Then came the police response. Tear gas, flash bangs, and rubber bullets flying everywhere. In the middle of her live report, Tomasi was suddenly hit in the leg by a rubber bullet. Viewers panicked, fearing the worst. Amazingly, she stayed calm, later revealing a large bruise, but no serious injury. Live TV struck by missiles. During wars, live TV can capture moments no one ever expects, and this one left viewers in shock. During the recent Israel-Iran conflict, Israeli aircraft struck the headquarters of Iran's state broadcaster in Tehran. A live show was on air when powerful blasts rocked the studio, cutting the lights and sending the screen to black. For a few seconds, chaos filled the broadcast. Inside the studio, cameras caught a chilling sight: a woman running for her life as debris crashed around her. It was a haunting reminder of how quickly war can turn ordinary moments into scenes of pure fear. Domestic violence caught on live TV. During a live news report outside a courthouse in Phoenix, Arizona, viewers saw something shocking. As the reporter spoke on camera, a man suddenly walked up and slapped a woman in a wheelchair. The disturbing moment played out live on TV, leaving viewers stunned. Many quickly messaged the station, demanding action and urging them to help the woman. Police soon stepped in, arresting 60-year-old Randall Burgess for violence. What was meant to be a normal news segment turned into an unexpected moment of real-life violence, one that no one watching could believe actually happened on live television. Hurricane Ian versus reporter. Hurricane. Ian wasn't just another storm, it was a monster ripping through Florida's west coast. During live coverage, the Weather Channel's Jim Cantore found himself right in the middle of its fury. As powerful winds roared and debris flew past, he tried to stay on his feet while reporting. Then, out of nowhere, a heavy tree branch slammed into him, knocking him to the ground. Viewers watched in shock as Jim crawled to a nearby street pole and held on tightly against the storm's force. Amazingly, he escaped with only minor injuries, proving why he's known as one of the toughest weather reporters on TV. Tragedy on live TV. It was supposed to be a normal morning broadcast. In August 2015, reporter Allison Parker and cameraman Adam Ward were live at Bridgewater Plaza in Virginia, interviewing a local business leader. Everything seemed fine until gunshots rang out. Viewers watched in horror as the live feed suddenly cut off. Both Allison and Adam were killed, while the interviewee was seriously hurt but survived by playing dead. Later, police identified the shooter as Vester Lee Flanagan, a former WDBJ reporter fired for aggressive behavior. The shocking on-air tragedy became one of the darkest moments in television history. Car stunt gone wrong. A live game show called Wetten das in Düsseldorf turned tragic when contestant Samuel Koch attempted a dangerous stunt, jumping over a moving car using spring-loaded shoes. The crowd of 4,000 cheered as he prepared to leap, but things went horribly wrong. Koch landed face first on the floor and didn't move. Viewers watched in shock as medics rushed in. He had broken several bones in his back and was left paralyzed. Despite the devastating accident, Samuel refused to give up. Today, he's turned his focus to acting and now performs in theater productions, inspiring others with his strength and determination. We hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more amazing stories.